Alright, let's write another positive negative essay. This one is from IELTS Academic 17. As usual, the first step is to read and understand the statement and instruction. Nowadays, a growing number of people with health problems are trying alternative medicines and treatments instead of visiting their usual doctor. Do you think this is a positive or a negative development? So as you know, development is a trend, is a change, something that is happening and is becoming more common these days. All right, we need to take a clear side and say if this is positive or negative. So it's time to decide. I think it's a negative development. Why? Because there is no scientific evidence to support alternative medicines and treatments. And also, people who work in this field mostly are not trained or qualified. So people with no training and qualification is another negative point. Now, as you know, we need to develop both sides of the argument. So it's better to also focus on the positive aspects as well and write a paragraph for that. So for the positive side, I think there are less side effects for this kind of medicine and treatment, and it also focuses on actions to prevent health problems. All right, now it's time to paraphrase. This is my paraphrase. It is prevalent these days for people with health concerns to turn to alternative medicines and treatments instead of visiting their conventional doctors. Now, in order to complete my introduction, I need to answer the question. Considering the positive and negative aspects of this shift in healthcare preferences, I think it is a negative trend. Make sure you answer the question clearly and take a side. Now, in my first body paragraph, I will focus on the positive aspects, then the negative aspects, and then I will conclude. So the first one, I said there are less side effects, and also it focuses on actions to prevent health problems. There are certain advantages to the growing popularity of alternative medicines. So I should say why. Firstly, these treatments often prioritize natural approaches, which can lead to fewer side effects compared to traditional medications. One example can complete my support for this reason. For instance, herbal remedies promote wellness without the risk of harmful chemical reactions. Now, the second one, I said it focuses on actions to prevent health problems. Additionally, so I want to add another point, I use additionally or furthermore. Many alternative treatments focus on preventive measures, encouraging individuals to adopt healthier lifestyles and diets, which can lead to long-term well-being. Now, the negative side, I said there is no scientific evidence, so I mentioned this one first. However, so I want to talk about the negative side. I start with however. It is crucial to consider the potential downsides of relying solely on alternative medicines. Now I need to say why. One significant concern is the lack of scientific evidence to support the efficacy and safety of many alternative treatments. More explanation can support this. Unlike conventional medicines, which undergo testing and clinical trials, alternative treatments often lack the same level of safety measures, raising doubts about their effectiveness. Now it's time to mention the second one, people with no training and qualification. Furthermore, so I want to add another point. Many practitioners in this field are untrained and unqualified, and their diagnosis and treatment may put patients' lives at risk. So one example can complete this. For instance, some practitioners who offer acupuncture treatments do not have the necessary education and certification, which means they might not know how to do it safely and effectively. Now, it's time to write my conclusion. So I start with in conclusion, then I summarize the positive point, and then I'll restate my opinion, and then I'll summarize the negative points. In conclusion, despite the merits of using natural approaches and preventive care, so this is the positive side, the growing interest in alternative medicines and treatments represents a negative trend. So this is my opinion. This is because many individuals practicing in this field may lack the necessary expertise and could harm patients' safety. So this is my first negative point. The second one, moreover, the lack of scientific validation and the potential risks of relying on such treatments may endanger people's lives or affect their health negatively. I organized my essay in 4 paragraphs. In the first one, I simply paraphrased and answered the question. In my first body paragraph, I supported the positive sides. In the second one, I supported the negative aspects. And finally, in my conclusion, I summarized all the main points and restated my opinion. In this slide, you can find the points that gave cohesion to my writing. You could pause, take a screenshot, and read that. And in the next two slides, you will find useful collocations of words from my essay that you could also use in your writing. All right, hope you found it useful. Have a nice day.